Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. In today's podcast, we are talking about twin flame ascension symptoms. So these are going to be specific physical bodily symptoms that twin flames experience through this activation process taking place between them and quite literally transforming them at every level and layer of their being. So if you are someone who is on this twin flame path and you've been experiencing some physical signs or sensations that at times might feel confusing or uncomfortable to you, I hope this podcast helps to reconnect you with your own self-awareness at the spiritual level of what these so-called physical signs and symptoms could be actually trying to show you on a deeper level, because I think it's so common to allow our own ego mind to really self-judge these kinds of experiences. So when we feel something physically uncomfortable or confusing, the ego likes to come in and say something must be going wrong or we must be backsliding in some way. But in fact, very often the complete opposite is true. These kinds of signs and sensations can actually be powerful indications that something is deeply healing, shifting, or transforming within us. So I do hope you enjoy the information today, and I also do want to take a moment to introduce myself to anyone who might be new here. So if you are new, then welcome. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Be sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't yet, or double check that you are subscribed, because we are forming a beautiful collective here on YouTube of like-minded, conscious, creative beings. And the beautiful thing about subscribing into our channel and our collective here is that we are all connected more deeply with one another at the energy level, regardless of where you are on the planet. So what this means is that we are assisting one another in real time in shifting and changing and healing along this journey. And also, I'm able to pick up more easily on your energy and bring you more relevant content and information in future videos. So let's start by giving a little bit of context for what twin flame ascension really means, because I know it sounds a bit like a mystical, somewhat magical, esoteric term. But in essence, at the most simple level, twin flame ascension is the uplifting, the up-leveling of our consciousness that begins in earnest when twin flames profoundly activate one another energetically in this physical lifetime, which usually occurs through some kind of conscious interaction between the twins. Now, this conscious interaction creating this energetic activation that begins the ascension process can happen to twins virtually. So it doesn't require you to meet in person. And in fact, for some twin flames, this can even happen in a more spiritual kind of way through fifth dimension conscious interactions with their twin, through dreams, through telepathic or more what we think of as more spiritual experiences. But again, it can range from those very 5D, fifth dimension, higher self kinds of conscious interactions with your twin, all the way down to the very physical, tangible level of meeting or interacting with your twin flame in the physical world in some way. In fact, even just meeting your twin in the physical can create, or I should say even just seeing them, it doesn't even require you to have introduced yourself to them. Even just seeing your twin flame in the physical world can result in this kind of energetic activation, although this all does depend on your soul level intentions for this journey and for how your interactions, journey, and awakening process with your twin is going to look like uniquely for you. So once this activation begins, the ascension process starts, because again, the ascension is simply this raising of consciousness. However, although that might sound somewhat like a very feel-good kind of fairy tale sort of experience to raise your consciousness to reach this higher states of enlightenment, in truth, this can be a very dark and confusing and even physically uncomfortable process at times. And the reason for this is because within our being, we as physical human beings carry within us both the light and the dark. And in fact, some of us who are very advanced souls choose to take a lot of darkness into our being for the purpose of transmuting that darkness into light, because this results in immense spiritual growth as a soul, and also because when we transmute our own inner darkness in this way, we do actually have this powerful ripple effect outward on the entire human collective. So if you've taken on or experienced a lot of pain or a lot of darkness in your life, the first thing you need to know is that most likely you are a highly advanced and very old soul. And on a soul level, although we do experience this human amnesia of these soul intentions, your soul knew that both your physical body and your more soulful self, your soul self, your authentic self, were capable of handling this darkness and transmuting it into light. So nothing is going wrong here. Again, if you've had a lot of darkness or pain in your life or along this twin flame journey, or if you are experiencing this discomfort through the physical body, as we're discussing in today's podcast, whenever a new energetic blockage, or what we would think of as some particular shadow or piece of darkness, if you want to think of it that way, comes up to the surface for being released through us. Well, that kind of answered what I was about to say. It has to be released through us, meaning that we keep these things, these energetic wounds, blockages, what we think of as the shadows, buried deep within us energetically. The ego likes to keep these things buried because it tends to look better on the surface. It stagnates our level of consciousness to keep these buried shadows within us. However, it keeps us in this kind of stable, familiar place, and the ego likes what is familiar. Now, what happens is when our twin flame activates us energetically, that's energy push, so to speak, from our twin, which is really just this huge energetic exchange flowing between us, flows through our being and literally pushes to the surface these shadows, these deeply buried wounds and patterns that for a while may have been very subconscious to us, which again, the ego liked, because although it was keeping us stuck or keeping us stagnant in life or in terms of our consciousness, it also kept our life very stable and familiar, which the ego preferred. So when our twin flame activates and pushes this energy through us in this way, these things that we've buried for a very long time begin to rise to the surface. Now, our body exists at so many more layers and levels than our physical skin, what we think of as our physical body. So we not only have a physical body, but also an energy body, an emotional body, a mental body, and so on. So the energy body we could think of as this deepest layer where we bury all of these deep-seated energetic wounds and patterns that our twin then pushes up to the surface. Now, in order to be released that particular wound must rise up through our energy and must actually re-enter the atmosphere of our being at all levels and layers, so to speak. So it must come up through us energetically. So we might feel this jarring sense of discomfort that's difficult to place as we begin to feel this wound moving through our energy body. And then it continues to rise through our emotions, leading to those uncomfortable, even feelings of grief, sadness, confusion, negativity, mood swings in our emotions. And then it breaks through the kind of so-called atmosphere of our physical body. So when this happens, this is when we begin to experience the so-called physical ascension symptoms of the twin flame awakening process. Now, this twin flame ascension isn't a linear process, and it doesn't happen instantaneously or all at once. It happens over the course of time and moves in phases and levels. So we might experience particular physical symptoms at one point in time, then there may be a period of time where they seem to lessen, and then something new may rise to the surface for healing within us, causing this experience of new or difference, or even some of the same symptoms. But every time you are experiencing these physical symptoms, know that you are going through a sort of energetic purging process of kind of release, that this isn't a sign of you backsliding or going back in any sense of the term, but rather this is a powerful indication that your soul is ready for a deeper level of healing, of self-consciousness, and a higher experience of heightened consciousness through that release of something else that could have been weighing you down or weighting you to your current level of consciousness. So again, these physical symptoms can range from quite literally anything. They can range from things that are more generalized. So these could be variances in our energy levels. This could be a general feeling of tiredness, random bursts of energy. This could be general emotional feelings of discomfort, negativity, uncertainty, a feeling of generalized grief for ourselves or our life or our twins specifically. These can also be very, very specific symptoms. And I actually want to go through a few of those specific symptoms here in this podcast. And then you can let me know in the comments whether you've experienced any of these symptoms, and also whether you'd like to hear more about any of the symptoms listed here or anything that comes to mind as I'm speaking, because I do really love hearing from you in the comments and connecting with you in this way. So the first very strange, specific symptom of twin flame ascension that I want to talk about. And by the way, before I get into this, do keep in mind that not every person will experience all of these specific symptoms. These are just specific things that tend to happen to certain segments of the twin flame collective. So only take what connects with you personally. But the first hyper-specific symptom of twin flame ascension in the physical body can actually be discomfort in the upper back area, including the shoulders, but especially the shoulder blades. And particularly what I've experienced along my own path of twin flame ascension is a feeling of discomfort between the shoulder blades. So either on one side, kind of between the spine and one of the shoulder blades, on the other side, or just generally around the shoulder area. And this particularly can be a sign of both heart chakra activations and shifts, because the upper back is connected to the heart center. But this can also be called in the spiritual community what is referred to as angel wings, which sounds kind of mystical, but essentially you could think of wings as coming out kind of from your shoulder blade area. Now, this isn't necessarily literal energetic wings, although some people may conceptualize it this way, but it's just a way to think about the fact that your heart center is expanding, is shifting, is growing, is creating this kind of magnetic force field of energy around you, and is causing your energy being to expand, causing you to quite literally grow and expand at the energy level. There's also this literal expansion of your aura that begins in the heart center, which is why you feel it so profoundly, not only through the chest center, but also in the upper back as well, because they are connected. The second physical sign of twin flame ascension is that you may actually experience negative or confusing impacts on your physical vision. Some people seem to have trouble focusing with their physical eyes. Reality might just look a little bit fuzzy or blurry to them. And the reason for these vision shifts and changes is actually because your third eye is opening in a more profound way, which is causing this interference, which really isn't interference. It's actually a clearing of your physical vision. It's an aligning of your physical eyesight with your spiritual vision through the third eye, because we do have vision not just through our physical eyes, but also through the third eye, which sees into the higher dimensions, which sees also into the energetic realms. And so whether you realize it or not, what's really happening through these vision changes physically is that you are actually becoming more adept at seeing energy. Even if you aren't physically seeing energy, these shifts in your eyesight are signs that your third eye, your ability to have what we call clairvoyance, clear sight, is beginning to align with your physical 3D eyesight, really allowing you to see into, which is really a sensing into those higher dimensional realms and energetic planes. The third strange specific sign of twin flame ascension is that you might actually experience either bloating or weight gain, or at other times this could reverse, so you could experience weight loss as well. But from listening to most people's experiences, it seems that most people do experience this, especially early on and through the middle of this kind of ascension process. They will experience more so a kind of bloating sensation. Now, this actually comes from the solar plexus chakra, because the solar plexus is located in the stomach region, and it's actually the solar plexus that is the powerhouse for our energy body. So it is said that as you begin to take more light into your being, your body, your being, even your physical being will begin to expand, to give you room, to give you space, to be able to process out all of the old, to purge out anything that is no longer aligns with your new energetic kind of alignments of higher consciousness, if that makes sense. Now, the fourth sign that you are going through twin flame ascension is that you may actually experience a ringing in your ears that seems to happen randomly or completely out of the blue. This can happen in both ears or just on the right or the left side. And this is a sign, just as the blurry vision is a sign that you are becoming more clairvoyant, more capable of clearly seeing into energy and really opening your third eye. This ear ringing is actually a sign of opening abilities of clairaudience, being able to more clearly receive downloads of energetic information from the higher self and from these higher energetic places through your physical ears, through these clairaudient experiences as well. Now, not to be confused here, because I know for some, you may not experience clairaudience, this clearing of your hearing, as literally being able to hear the voice of your higher self, although some do experience it that consciously. But for others, this is simply a sudden knowing that you hear in your mind, almost like a voice in your mind, reassuring you, confirming something to you, giving you some kind of valuable information for yourself or your life. This can also be a sign that you are, again, clearing your hearing on this spiritual level, being able to more clearly access and hear your higher self and those higher level forms of energetic information on a day-to-day basis. So this video is approaching 20 minutes and I do want to go ahead and close it out here. But as I said earlier, be sure to leave me a comment and do let me know if you'd like me to share more information on any of this subject. Now, if you are someone who is experiencing these twin flame ascension symptoms, know that the most valuable and important thing you can do for yourself is to participate in some form of daily energy clearing ritual, because all of these physical signs and symptoms, even the emotional symptoms and sensations, are really all the results of a powerful realignment taking place within your energy field. So it's really useful to clear out that old energy and those outdated patterns stored unconsciously in order to ease this process of ascension. So to assist you with your twin flame ascension process and all of these resulting symptoms, especially and specifically as someone who is a twin flame, I've created a twin flame energy clearing subliminal meditation, and I've called this my twin flame 7 chakra clearing because it does address these energetic wounds and negative patterns, creating this so-called darkness within the energy body through each of these 7 chakra centers, which is so powerful because, as we've been saying throughout so much of this podcast, many of these symptoms are tied to specific chakra centers. So this is a really powerful tool for deeply at the core deep energy level, uprooting, pulling out and clearing out these negative patterns in order to allow you to lift your consciousness more easily. And in connection with your twin flame relationship, meditating with this subliminal allows you to really begin to release those patterns around unconditional love that could be keeping you and your twin flame at this level of consciousness together, this shared consciousness of separation and feeling kind of stagnant in that separation place. This will really help you to shake up and shift that energy, magnetize yourself for deeper, more manifested connection with really your true authentic self, but as a result, with your twin flame as well, even in the physical manifested world. So the link to this twin flame 7 chakra clearing is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. This subliminal comes from my website, soundandsoulful.com. So as you can see on the screen, on this website, I've not only created twin flame subliminals, but also subliminals for all areas of life, such as physical appearance changes, mood shifts, mind power, material manifestations, and really so much more. So if you feel guided to do so, be sure to click that link in the pinned comment and description box. You can explore around the site and also see the specific benefits, or I should say energetic benefits, that are intended by this particular subliminal meditation for twin flames. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast. I really hope it was helpful for you. And if it was, be sure to leave me a comment under this video and let me know what connected with you personally. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you get notified when I post future twin flame content and videos. I hope you have a truly beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next podcast.